soulmates versus twin flames, myth versus truth. Twin flames are a complete myth. It is something that a lot of people have made a lot of money off of. We want to think of twin flames as being unrealistic and really toxic for a couple key reasons. First of all, the idea that you're not whole as yourself is problematic. It reminds me of perpetuating the patriarchy and these fairy tale concepts in Disney that someone's coming to rescue us, someone's coming to make us whole. We're missing this person, and that when we come together with this person, we become an actual human being with a spirit and a soul that makes sense and is acknowledged by the universe and can somehow go on a higher level. None of that happens. None of that is true. And none of that is necessary. There is such a bipolar idea of what it means. So for many, many years, people would talk about twin flames as being this romantic fairy tale kind of a connection. And we would believe that when we met this person, it felt incredible. It felt like we finally had support. There were synchronicities and everything connected. This is the one. Then we have this polar opposite understanding that came out in more recent years, that twin flames are the biggest test you will ever have in your life. It tries you like no other relationship ever will. And it's incredibly difficult. It can actually wipe you out. And they almost make it out like it's some kind of narcissistic attack. Why do we have such differences? Because none of it's true. None of it is a twin flame connection. That doesn't exist. What they're talking about is a karmic contract. So when we talk about a karmic contract, which is actually what a lot of people think a twin flame is, we're talking about a debt, karmic debt being owed. That's going to involve severe lessons, a lot of struggle, and interference. It's not easy. It's not lovely. It doesn't feel good, but it is addictive. Because with a karmic contract, we have something called cords. We only see cords again when we talk about soulmate connections. So whether you have a soulmate contract or you have a karmic contract with someone, you're going to have an energetic bond through these cords that permits the person you're in contract with to pull and tug at you all the time, voluntarily and involuntarily. They will come into your thoughts, your energy field, through your dreams, and it requires a great deal of mindfulness from you so that you can control whether or not that's happening. What happens in a karmic contract often, we typically see that one person doesn't want to do it. Sometimes we even see that both people don't want to do it. And this is where things become inflamed, and the nature of the relationship, if it didn't already feel kind of odd, could get really, really tense. So with these cords, even if you separate from this person, no matter how much time, no matter how much space there is, they tend to be present in your life. Again, not just in your dreams, not just in your thoughts, but even outside of you. So people you cross paths with may have that person's name, may look just like them. So a lot of people think they're supposed to interact with this person. They're supposed to go back. They're supposed to reach out for some reason or stay. And that is most certainly not the case. Here's the other confusion with twin flames. We do have soulmate connections with people. Those are also work contracts, but they're far more positive. They do come with the cords. They are addictive. The other person can tug and pull at you. If you try to break up, you may have a drop in body temperature, flu-like symptoms. You may feel as though you're developing some kind of mental illness. It's very much like coming off of a drug. You're going to get approximately 5 to 6 different soulmates crossing your path over the course of your entire life contract. And what you're going to want to do is to pick the soulmate connection that functions best in the day to day. All the other ones are going to feel really intense, really passionate, really even obsessive, but it just doesn't work. Often with soulmates, we have this problem where one person is without a growth mentality. It's because of the cords. They will actually try to hold you back if you are the one with the growth mentality. So we have to be really careful that if we met a narcissist, sociopath, someone who was super destructive on our life, we don't hang on and feel like, yes, but it was so intense. That was a soulmate connection. Not necessarily. That could have been a karmic contract. That could have just been some nut job and you're highly empathic. Why does this happen? Because the truth behind these dynamic relationships is not that it's there for your entertainment. It's because you have a work contract, which involves lessons, growth, and difficulty in leveling up that can only be achieved with this person's assistance. Or in the case of a karmic contract, their push. People don't understand the nature of that contract. And you have to understand that there's value in everything, in all of these relationships. So through alchemy, you need to convert the negativity into positivity. What did I learn? How did I grow? How does this make me more powerful? How can I help others with this going forward? The other thing we really want to look for if we're going to pick a soulmate, you may want to get an astrology reading. When you look at a synergy chart with you and someone else, a synergy chart will show who you guys have been and where you might be going. One of the things we see is past life history. So the minute you meet someone like this, you feel comfortable. You have a warped sense of time. The relationship may move and develop differently, a lot faster. And that's a sign you have south node connection, meaning past life history. When you meet this soulmate, you start to have flashbacks of who you guys were in previous lives. North node connection signifies that you guys have work to do together in this life, are building toward the future and even future lives. When you meet a soul mate, and if you meet someone and you have a karmic contract, this can happen there too. You would notice weird number patterns following both of you. And you may even see synchronicities in like the birth dates, the death dates, any important numbers for you in your life. You may also notice odd things like their name is the same as a lot of your family members' names, or, you know, where they worked is somewhere you worked, or like you guys never met, but you crossed paths repeatedly. Another myth. There is no the one because there is no twin flame. It's not a thing. It's up to your free will to pick one of these. That's all. The other destructive misunderstanding that people have about these dynamic relationships is that they are often on a deadline, which means the contract will expire and therefore the relationship will sour. Or you may find that it's time to go two separate ways and you're unwilling to do it because you overinvested. And we have to remember that that's a societal construct, that that's a human construct, that we are to find that mate and stay there forever. Or that because I was born to this family, this is blood. We got to get over it. Okay. There is nothing in the universal law that shows in any way, shape, or form that this stuff is true. The energy never lies. Your intuition never lies. When it's over, it's over. You're not getting along anymore. There's no more teamwork. Maybe you're competing a lot. You may only be there because there's a lot of guilt. You may resent this person talking to you or touching you. You need a lot more personal space from them. It just isn't the same. Again, it doesn't mean it didn't have purpose. It can just mean that the contract is up. Too many people demand what a relationship is supposed to be. They have all these ideas already in their head. They're programmed to believe that every relationship is supposed to do this thing for them or elevate them in this way. And the other person gets taken advantage of. You should be looking at every relationship you enter into, not what can I get? Me, but also what do I give? You can't lock them down and expect them to also grow. Just also wanted to mention that a soulmate can be your dog, your cat, your sibling, your friend. It could be someone that you meet at work. So it could be anybody. But romantically, you will meet a couple of those also.